Okay. Good morning, everyone. My name is Kelsey Harris. I am the owner and founder of NeuroAxis Rehab, and I wanted to come and share our information, our services, what we might be able to offer you, a family member, a loved one, or just a community member. As some of you might know, we are renting space out inside of Life in Motion. So if you've seen some therapy members and patients in the group classroom, that is us. But I wanted to share a little more about our services. So, NeuroAxis Rehab is a mobile outpatient therapy company. So, what that means is we bill insurance just like your typical brick and mortar outpatient therapy clinic would. We just come directly to the home. So, we get the best of both worlds between home health and outpatient therapy. With home health, we come right to the house. We get to work in your home environment, but we get to use a different bucket of money, if you will, for outpatient therapy. So insurance considers home health and outpatient two completely different things, utilizes two different parts of insurance. So after home health discharges, but you're still not strong enough to get back into the community yet, we can use a different bucket of money through outpatient therapy insurance, a different group of benefits through your insurance, but still come directly into your house. The other unique thing about us is we only accept people into our program who have had neurologic conditions. So, thinking of strokes, brain injuries, spinal cord injuries, ALS, MS, Parkinson's disease, any of those brain or spine conditions are what our team specializes in, which is why someone has to have one of those diagnoses to qualify for our company. We offer physical therapy, occupational therapy, speech therapy, mental health counseling, and bowel, bladder, sexual retraining. We have a patient advocate, caregiver, and patient support groups. So, really trying encompassing everything for families so they don't feel like they have to go to one provider for this and another provider for here. Try and have a comprehensive approach to recovery for everyone. And we service all of southwestern Pennsylvania, so Beaver, Butler, Allegheny, Washington, Westmoreland, Fayette, and Greene counties. And then we have two clinic sites within Life in Motion, obviously, and then Pittsburgh Fitness Project in Lawrenceville, right in Pittsburgh. And we're working on developing a third location, hopefully down in the South Hills, Washington County area for 2025. What makes us so different is obviously we come directly to you. You don't have to come to a clinic to see us right away. Um, Being in the home, we provide functional and activity based therapy. And what that means is think about if you were at a hospital or you're at a clinic and you're working on rolling on those hard mat tables to practice getting in and out of bed. You can do it really, really well in the hospital or at the clinic, but then you get home and you're like, I can't get out of bed the way I did. I did it at the hospital. I did it at the gym, but I can't get it here. And that's because in the hospital on the harder mat tables, you're practicing a certain force production. You're using certain muscles and sequencing patterns to get you out of bed, but that's not your bed. So when you get home, you're going to have to almost relearn how to do all of those things again to adapt to your home environment. So we get to practice. There's no simulations in the house. We get to do and work with the real life things that you guys are working with every day. Get to work in your bathroom, figure out what tiny spaces we have to navigate or spin around, or what adaptations we can set up in the bathroom or kitchen to make you more independent. All of those things are proven to have a better recovery, and the brain picks up motor learning and what your therapists are asking you to do if it's in your own home environment. um, the other unique part, like I was mentioning, all of our therapists are neuro specialized. So they've either have specialty certifications, years of experience, have been through a mentorship. We only work with people with these conditions. So we are implementing the highest level of evidence and interventions to help obtain the best chance at recovery. Um, the reason I started this company, I'm a physical therapist by background. And the reason I started this company was I became very upset and frustrated with our healthcare system that they were putting a dollar sign on people's lives. So that is something that we do not do at NeuroAxis. We all, from the administrative team down to the billing department, the therapist, everyone genuinely cares about you as a patient, about your family, your goals, helping you reach your goals. You're not just another number or dollar sign to us. We really become kind of part of reaching those goals together. I like to say that we have a patient-centric model of care, not a financially driven model of care. And then, our main goal is to help bridge the gap between home and community integration. So the way we're currently set up is after home health comes in, after someone gets sent home from the hospital, we can come right in, provide the immediate therapy, help get you stronger until you can come to the clinic and we can work on those higher level activities. And then we can come, same therapist will see you at the clinic to help progress even further. And then when you no longer need us anymore, we still want you coming to the same clinic, just working at the adaptive gyms with the personal trainers and fitness instructors that are specialized in continued mobility and recovery, because recovery is always happening. Building that community integration and showing you can get back out in the community and do things again. We also have some community events coming up for the 2025 year to further promote community integration of adaptive kayaking, adaptive fishing, adaptive hiking, adaptive cooking classes, book groups, candle making, all sorts of different activities for people of all different mobility levels. These are the principles of neuroplasticity. I could talk about these forever, but I will not bore you with the principles of neuroplasticity. What this is just showing is that in research, science has shown us for years that if we implement these 10 principles, it yields the best chance at recovery after a neurologic injury. And the ones that are very, very important is the salience down here. So the tasks that you're practicing must be important and relevant to you, which is why we work on the functional activity-based things that are so important to you guys in your home, in your community, in your day-to-day life. Also intensity. All of our sessions are at least an hour long. We require that all of our patients are able to tolerate an hour of therapy because intensity and repetition are the most important things to help improve that carryover. 20 to 30-minute sessions isn't intense enough for people with neurologic conditions to obtain maximal recovery. I encourage all of you that if you know someone who's had a neurologic injury or condition, the ones we discussed of stroke, brain injury, spinal cord injury, ALS, MS, Parkinson's disease, if they are seeing a therapist somewhere, whether if it's PT, OT, speech therapy, and they feel like these 10 principles are not being implemented, try to find a therapist, even if it's not with our company, who does implement these principles to help make sure that you or your loved one, family member, whoever it is getting the best chance at a full or maximal recovery. And then these are always my favorites. So I'm going to try and get me out of the way here. And I just want to show you guys some of the fun that we have in therapy and what truly makes us different as a mobile outpatient therapy company. So working outside, even when we're working on cognitive tasks, trying to make it in a fun environment, not in a closed off treatment room with gray walls. Let's get outside. This individual loves the outdoors and animals, just nature. So we found a game specific to nature to work on with him. This lovely lady loved and wanted to get back to playing the piano. So after working with her hand and motor return, we brought a piano in to have her start working on it that way. This woman over here loved a stamp collection, and she has Parkinson's disease and hasn't been able to do fine motor tasks in a while. So all of her stamps had built up, and she finally was able to participate and complete and started adding all those stamps back to her collection book that she hadn't been able to do for a few years. Being that we come to the house, like I said, we make therapy fun. What's your main goal? That's what we want to work on with you. So this individual was living on a farm, and he wanted to be able to drive his skid steer again. So that's what we did during therapy. We made sure that we figured out ways for him to be able to drive this. I'm just speeding this all up for us, to be able to drive his skid steer out on the farm. This gentleman wanted to be able to play with his dog, sweetest little Charlie here. So working on him throwing the ball and his dog bringing it back, retrieving it. This individual sustained a spinal cord injury, and this was the first time he was able to walk up a flight of stairs to sleep in his bedroom again. he had done stairs in the hospital, but obviously the height of the stairs is different. And as you can kind of see between here, his stairs were open underneath. So we had to factor his toes sliding underneath the stairs before he picked them up onto the next step. All of things you can't simulate in a clinic, which we were able to practice at home with him. We also love cooking and eating the snacks. So they were making biscuits here, and these are the outcome of the biscuits. I've heard that they are fantastic. We helped this individual had a spinal cord injury and had limited hand movement. So his OT worked with him on making his own coffee every morning in his exact setup, figuring out how far that coffee pot the coffee machine had to be away from the counter so he could come up into his wheelchair. She created this adaptive device for him to be able to pull that coffee pod back out of there. And all of this stuff is short. We could simulate it in a clinic, but we got to practice with the exact height, the exact distances, where his pods were stored, where the cups were stored, how far he had to reach forward. There was no simulation, so it had a higher chance for him to carry this over in his home environment every single day, which he now can make his coffee by himself. This individual was practicing making, he was making chicken and dumpling soup. So making his dumplings there. Here he is playing the guitar or bass, he was playing the bass after he had had a stroke. This is Dave, another stroke survivor. We were working on his weight shift forward and back. So what a better way to work on his weight shift than let's play fetch. Little Cora here would play ball all day. So that's exactly what we did to practice that weight shift forward and back to simulate for walking, running, things like that. Dave also was recognized at the Washington Wild Things for Stroke Awareness Month as a stroke survivor and threw out the first pitch to the game. So that's another reason why we are practicing throwing the ball. So Dave could throw the first pitch all the way to home plate, which I'm happy to say he did. Go Dave. We have fun community outings together. We took this individual to lunch with his therapist, Amanda and Katie, took him out to lunch one day. This individual, we were working on picking apples out on his farm. He has a bunch of apple trees and was making apple pie. So we helped him work on this tool that reaches up in a basket and pulls down apples. We can help people with functional stuff around the house. All of these individuals are stroke survivors that wanted to get back to their daily life and enjoying life, doing household tasks. Dave is here hanging up lights around the outside of his patio for the summer. Says he and his wife like to sit outside and read a book in the summer evenings. So he was hanging up some lights around the patio for them. This lovely lady wanted to get back to golfing. So we were working on chipping that golf ball. And here he was working on wanting to get back to cutting his grass, and not just cutting his grass on a level surface, but as you can see, he has some embankment. So working on that with him again as well. This individual has Parkinson's disease and is in an assisted living facility. We are working with him on reactionary time, red light, green lights, just trying to make it a little funner than, okay, go, now stop, start again.
Green means fast.
Here's another gentleman who had a stroke, and this is his affected side from his stroke, where as a therapist, he wanted to work on his balance on one leg. So what a better way to work on balancing on one leg. He worked through this pile for an extremely long time, all while balancing on his one leg. That's something we would have asked him to do in the clinic. Probably after 15 seconds, you would get bored and put your foot down. I would if I'm just standing there counting, looking at a timer. So trying to get the brain thinking about other things while still working on the desired outcome. Oh, perfect. Here's the video of this individual making his own coffee, able to pull that coffee pot out himself to be able to put a new one in and have his cup of coffee. Janet and her two lovely dogs here working, who doesn't love some cute golden retrievers. This individual was working on balancing while painting and coloring. If you remember back a few slides, the gentleman who was picking apples, here are the apples to make that delicious apple pie. And I did eat that one. It was fantastic. And then we love to go out in the community. So bringing just family, friends, trying to have an inclusive group that people of all different mobility levels can participate and find joy in life again. That's a little bit about us. I know obviously this is a virtual presentation. There were a lot of people out sick. So if you guys have any questions, please feel free to reach out to us. If you have questions about our services, if we can help you, if we can help a family member, just really any questions in general, please reach out. Our email address is info, I-N-F-O, @neuroaxisrehab.com. And we have a HIPAA secure call and text line, which is 724-585-8145. And I can send all of that information as well. But thank you guys for listening, and I hope our paths will cross in the gym soon.